Okay, and we are live. So,
All
first of
right.
all, I want to thank you. Thanks, bro, for coming on. The first podcast in this channel, and also in English for me. So, it's my second. It's not my first language, so
My
I may.
pleasure.
It might not be perfect, but here we go.
We're going to do
So,
our best.
yeah,
And
exactly.
I had to bring my coffee with me here. So
I don't have coffee. I don't drink coffee. That's kind of weird, right? I don't drink
that
coffee.
is kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, bro, how are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Just trying to keep up with all the craziness in the world.
Yeah, yeah,
Yourself?
yeah. All good, bro. All good. Um, so we've been off like for a minute now. Like we was the first time that I think I'm not. Is the first time that you like took a vacation off since like we started working together, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, are we going to let everybody know that you're the mastermind behind
Yeah,
all
we,
my
we,
all
we
my
can say
videos editing and all the magic behind in the back of the scenes?
yeah, we can say that. I don't want to take too much credit for the videos.
You're a
But
humble man.
yeah. Yeah, so we worked like together for I think like um well, like 1 year and a half, maybe even 2 years. I'm not sure at this point. Um yeah, I mean,
It feels longer than a year and a half for sure, man. It feels like it's been like since the very beginning, but it hasn't, but it feels that way.
yeah.
Just because when you've been working with each other for so long and we release so much content just on like every day,
Yeah.
you I kind of forget what it was like not having your expertise and help.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe I also feel that like it's longer than that, but I think it's because the amount of videos that we do. You know what I mean? Like, I think like, bro, and now obviously like we already have like a system behind the all the craziness, but at the beginning, when we were like trying to figure out like what we are gonna do, you know what I mean, like how many videos
Right.
and like the editing and all that, and there was periods where we were doing like so much in so little time, like craziness.
Right. Right.
um and so like, do you remember like maybe it's go like better to go like this, like, do you remember like the first time that like we ever like talked?
Oh man, yes. The first time we talked, I couldn't afford you. I remember. I
That's
remember
very to the point, bro. That's like to the point.
let me say this. Let me say this. I was thinking to myself, I need help. And I thought to myself, I don't think I can afford the help. And you were willing to work with me, and I think that's what I've always liked about you is it when you meet a content creator, you meet that person where they're at.
Mm.
And a lot of people think, "Oh man, I can't afford help right now." I was a small channel at the time. I think what was I at 30K subscribers at the time when I first
I,
talked to you.
I think so. I think
You
so.
might have reached out to me and asked me if I needed help, and I
Mhm.
thought, well, can I even afford? I don't think I can, afford the help right now.
Yeah.
And then we worked something out because that's what you do. And then um, I think I reached back out to you again.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny, bro, because I actually like um I actually remember like the first time that like we ever like I sent you a message because that's just part of the business, obviously.
Right,
But
right, right.
I was watching your videos, so I found your act like I was looking. I don't know how like for how long I was watching your videos, but I think I found one of your videos like when you were like talking, just to the camera in the car. Do you remember like those videos like in the
Oh,
car?
you. Oh, are you serious right now?
I'm serious, bro. I'm serious.
I didn't think that you were watching the content back in the car videos when I couldn't
Yeah.
even afford a light.
So I was like, so I don't know like if I was watching those videos at that time. Like I'm not sure the
Okay.
first video that I watched, but I remember like watching one video of yours. I don't remember the first video. I don't know. I don't want to lie to you. I don't remember the first video that I watched. But I watched a few videos of yours, and then I watched the car videos because I liked like the way that like you just very natural, just talking to the camera. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like just you
Those were
know.
crazy times, man. I would literally be at work on my break time. I would go in the car instead of eating my lunch, and I would just put up the camera. I use my phone and just start recording and just go, no editing,
Yeah,
no anything, and just upload it straight onto YouTube.
yeah, yeah.
And a lot of people don't know you can just start that way, but yes.
Yeah, and like so then like after that I sent you a message like after watching a few videos, and I thought like I think that I can like do something here, like I think that I can help you, and I think we can figure out something. And then actually like the first time that we ever talked, and maybe you don't remember this, but I checked on Instagram
Okay.
to be sure.
Maybe I don't
And
remember.
the first time that we ever talked, right? I sent you a message. You respond to me like I don't know how much time you took to respond, but you said like, "Oh, can we have a call?" Something like that. And then we talk over the phone. And I think the first time that we ever talked, I think we were like 1 hour on the phone, just
Oh, shit.
like just chatting. You know what I mean?
Okay. It's starting to come back. It's
Yeah.
starting to come back.
Yeah, and then you said, "Hey, man, like, really good to talk to you and meet you, whatever. Let me get back to you. Let me see if what I can do here. And then blank for
Nothing for a while, right?
1 year, bro.
1 year.
1 year. I'm not even
Jeez.
joking. And you can go
Yeah.
back on the like I went back on our conversation just to check,
Right.
like to be sure. And it was 1 year, bro. 1 year from the first time that we ever talked. And then
Right.
you get back to me like 1 year later, being like,
Right.
hey, like are you still like, editing? Like you still, you know what I mean? And
That
then
makes me think of, like, if you didn't hit me up that time, if you hadn't have reached out, I would have known who you are. The power of just making one, like, call or just reaching out to somebody, and I have a bunch of people that were reaching out to me at the time. There's
mhm,
probably a reason why, I reached back out to you. We probably talked, and it's starting to kinda jog my memory now.
yeah.
Yeah, 1 year later, that's insane, man.
1 year later, bro. And you probably like got back like to me, the first like because you were probably in a point where you already like felt like you could afford,
Right.
you know what I mean? And then, because we had that chat for like 1 hour or something like that, you felt like, okay, let me get back to this guy that I already talked, a little bit ago, was actually like 1 year, bro. It's crazy. And then that's when we start working together. And but I want to go even back, like what you do when I send you a message, and like what was going through your mind? You know what I mean? Like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? Like, what was going through your mind?
Um, I'll be honest. You were somebody. First, I was thinking to myself, like I said, when someone starts out doing creating content, people don't realize it quickly turns into a business, and you have to make it become that. So it becomes overwhelming very quickly. At first, it's fun, but then you
Yeah,
start realizing, like, oh wait, people expect a video every week, and in my case, people expected a video every day. you know? And
yeah,
so I knew I needed help, and I didn't know how long I could keep, like, just doing all the work by myself. Here you come out of nowhere, and I thought, oh man, okay, cool. Let me see what's up with this guy. I figure out that you're not even in the United States.
yeah,
And to me, I was a bit sketched out by that. I was like, I don't know. What if this guy, I pay him, and we do this thing together, and I never hear from him again.
yeah.
It was a bit of a trust and learning experience, but that
Mhm.
1 hour phone call, and I don't know if you did this on purpose, but that's where I got a hint of your personality, and that
Mm.
trust was built. But in the beginning, I wasn't sure,
Yeah,
but after a while, I talked to a bunch of different other people, and honestly, you were the one who's the most personable, easy to talk to, and so I reached out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like actually, like I'm gonna be extremely honest. Like, obviously, I talk with every client, right?
Right,
And I talk, as long as possible to build, the most trust possible, and just to like I always say this, like the goal is to start working with the client and
right.
have them forever, right? Like that's my goal. You know what I mean? Because like it's supposed to be that way. You know what I mean? Like it's like you have a business or a YouTube channel or whatever you have that you need content. You're not just like gonna need content for like a month and then that's it. Like it's forever. You know what I mean? Like it's a business. It's like as you said, your content creator is a business. You need content every single day or every single week or every single month.
Definitely.
Like you're gonna need it. And if we are doing our job correctly on our side, right? And if everything is going as it should, right, should be profitable for everybody, right, and should be a good deal for everybody, for the people that are watching the videos, for yourself,
Definitely.
for us, for everybody, right? Like in a good deal, everybody wins, right? And so that was like the thing. But I understand what you mean. It's like I don't know this guy, right? Like
Right.
this guy, broken English. You know what I mean? Like who is this guy? You know what I mean?
Hey, your English
This-
has gotten great, man, and I don't think it was bad at all before either.
yeah, but like was probably even worse than it is now, right?
It's gotten better.
Yeah, yeah, I believe so. Um, but yeah, like and then we start working together. And so like how would you say that was the process like for your side, like for yourself, when we like started like working together and like doing videos? um what was like the experience for you? You know what I mean? Like how did you feel about it?
I wanna approach this from the perspective of a new content creator. It is so daunting not knowing what direction to go. A lot of content creators get to the point where they know they need help. They know I need help here. This is getting too much, but you don't know how to do it. You don't
Yeah.
know what to listen to. There's so much information on YouTube. I remember, man, the day I figured out I needed an editor to help me edit videos,
Mhm.
and I went to look up online, and a bunch of stuff was coming up about burnout and people burning out from working too much on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was seeing like YouTube accounts with like 1 million subscribers, um, 500,000 subscribers, all these content creators that gave up and burnt out, all because it got too much. And I
Yeah.
start to realize that you need help, but I just didn't know where to start, man. I didn't know the process. I didn't know the system. How does it work? If I release one video a day, when do I send that video over after I've recorded it? And how fast can that guy edit? Can he even edit the video as fast as I can? You have all these questions of um what type of a system you need to build and what you need to do. And eventually you realize that you need to learn to somewhat be like you move from this one man show to a team player,
Yeah.
with a group of people, and then you have to set up systems, and everybody has to know their role. And that whole transition experience, nobody was giving me tips, but
Yeah.
you had experience. That's what I appreciated. And it was a lot easier to work with somebody who had experience working with other YouTubers,
Mhm.
and you had different options. I really like the fact that the first time you were like, "Hey, you know what? How about I just edit a video for you? You let me know how you like it." And I thought it was gonna be shit. I thought I was way
Yeah.
better at editing than you. And I said,
Yeah.
"Man." And then you sent it to me and I'm like, it's okay. I don't know. And then I put it on there. I thought people would notice. Nobody noticed, man. Nobody even noticed. The editor changed. No one said anything. No one complained. I said, "Man, you think you're special." And then you got better than me, at editing the videos even faster. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, man, that was a transition. It was
But but
challenging.
but would you say that at first you're like what's going through your mind is like you said a bunch of things there, and I think that's a very common experience, honestly. But I think one of the most things that like people tell me all the time is like yeah, but like, my videos are different. Like nobody can edit my videos. You know what I mean? Like I hear
Right.
this so many times. It's like, yeah, but like I edit my videos like for years now, and people are used to my editing, and you know what I mean. Like I do everything on my own, and I'm like, I get it, right? I get it. It's like your baby, right? Because
Right.
like when like you create a channel, things start growing. You one man show, you do everything by yourself. Things are going
Hmm.
well, right? Like in your
Right.
situation, it's not like things were going wrong. We're going, okay. Like the channel is growing. You have something going on, but then it's like, bro, you're not going to be able to grow, right? If you do everything by yourself. You know what I mean? Like you can
It's true.
grow to a certain point, right? But then you can't. It's just not possible, right? Like Mr. Beast is not the biggest YouTuber, whatever. Like what the guy doesn't edit. The guy, like, a big team, you know what I mean? Like a bunch of people taking care of a bunch of things, because it's like, if I want to grow, like doing everything by myself just doesn't work. You just have like 24 hours a day. You need to sleep. You need to do this. Like, just is not possible. Like,
I agree.
and so I think that's one of the biggest things, and that's because like it's like the thing with creatives, right? It's like you are a creative. You want to like you look at a video, and like you see things that most people don't see.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, because
Right.
like you're like,
The
I mean, it's
details.
the video is kind of good, but I think people are gonna notice that like I wasn't the one editing, and nobody cares. Like I say this all the time, like nobody cares, bro. You know what I mean? Like, like,
Right.
like,
This is true. I have a lot of friends who ask me, they'll say like, well, um, so I should just let somebody else edit my videos. I'm like, yeah, you need somebody to help you edit your videos. Because there's only two things that are gonna happen if you refuse to go that direction to get help and build a team. Number one, you either burn out
mhm,
or you will lose. You will lose. You might
yeah,
be the best editor in the world, but you're not going to beat me, Luis, and my other guys
yeah,
who are there working. You're working with three monsters who are there working 24/7. I mean, we're beasts, bro.
yeah,
It's continuous. It's when we're on the road, it's every day. You know,
yeah.
it doesn't matter what you do. There's three people and there's one of you. You either burn out and give out at some point, or you
And
will
by the
lose.
way, and by the way, just so people know, the saying of working while, like making money while you sleep, right? Like people say that, oh, you need to make money while you sleep.
Mm.
Just so you guys know that are watching this video. So I'm from Lisbon, right? And Shisha is living in LA. So there's a 8 time, difference, right? And so that's
Eight
actually
hour
like,
difference in
yeah,
that, right?
exactly. And so that's actually how it goes a bunch of times. You know what I mean? Like Shisha records the videos, goes to sleep, and then when he wakes up, has everything, ready to go. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so
Videos are
it's
there.
literally like, hey, bro, I'm going to sleep. Like everything is done. You know what I mean? Like do your thing, and then I send him a message. If you when he wakes up, everything is done. You know what I mean? Like how are you going to compete with a guy that goes to sleep and things are doing, what I mean?
Right.
Things are being done. You know
Things
what
are
I mean?
getting
Like,
done while I'm sleeping, and you're staying up, and then you need to sleep for 2, 3 hours. I tried that. You're gonna burn out, and if you don't burn out, you're just going to lose.
yeah,
It doesn't matter how good you think you are, you're just going to lose, and people need to understand that. I'm so straightforward with, because now at this point, a lot of people ask me for advice, man. I have a lot of people who be like, "Hey, so what should I do here?" A lot of people are up-and-coming content creators. Some of them are really good, but for that one, I tell them like, "Bro, you can't do this on your own. Eventually, you're gonna need help
yeah, for sure, for sure. Like you can do it for a little bit by yourself, right?
for a
You
little
can
bit.
do
You
it for
can.
a little bit, but then a certain point, something is going to. So maybe I want to talk a little bit about that. Like, why did you like start like the YouTube channel? You know what I mean? Like, do you remember like why did you start? Like, what was the reason that you were like, okay, let me start like a YouTube channel? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. I've tried YouTube like 7 or 8 times.
Mm.
You know, when people see my channel now, they think this guy just started out of nowhere and he just grew. I
Yeah.
actually have a short on my channel that has me starting from like 2000 and I think 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I've tried multiple channels, and many of them failed, and this caught. I always knew that I wanted to do something within like entrepreneurship. I think the reason why what I'm doing right now really took off is because I actually truly, genuinely believe in what I'm doing. I believe in talking about these issues that we're dealing with right now in modern dating and marriage. I believe it. And um, I think I also came to the type of content I was doing. For people who don't know, I talk about dating relationships from like a male perspective with an emphasis on more conservative values. And it all started because I was looking for the type of relationship I wanted myself. You know, it was very personal. Then I was watching other people. And so when I decided to think, okay, well, I might have some stuff to say about some of these topics, it just came natural because I really believed in it. But before that, I tried TikTok. I tried like doing other,
No, no, your TikTok was big.
it was
Before
kind of, yeah,
it was kind of
kind
big,
of
right?
kind of grew at, yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of grew at the time, but TikTok doesn't pay any money. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
TikTok. I'm
Yeah.
put you guys on blast.
Yeah. It's true, bro. It's true. Yeah.
Eventually, you can't be making all those TikToks every day and not making any money. Like it's
Yeah.
kind of, maybe it's changed now. I hear some people are like getting paid a bit more, but
Yeah, I mean,
I was trying
there's
different things.
certain ways that you can. I don't think it's from the views. You know what I mean? I think it's from you know, like selling stuff. You know what I mean? Like they have, you know, the stuff now where and live streams as well. Like people do live streams on TikTok, and then you know that, you know. Do you remember that that thing that you did videos about that where people are like I don't. It's weird, bro. I don't know.
Is it like the street interview stuff or what?
No, no, the ones where they're like just doing stupid stuff, like they are a robot or whatever. You know what I mean?
We did a video about it.
Yeah, but like long, long time ago. Like
We've done
it
like
wasn't like
3,000
yeah,
plus videos. I'm here trying to think about it.
yeah,
Live
yeah.
stuff.
It's just a weird like thing where
Oh,
people are
oh, oh,
donating.
oh, oh, shit. Okay, you're talking about, the
NPC lives, right?
NPCs,
Yeah,
NPCs. Yeah,
NPC
it was
lives.
right at the
Yeah,
tip of my tongue.
bro,
Yeah, it was
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. It's
That's
crazy to think that people were making money out of that. It's probably
oh
dead
yeah.
by now, but
I don't know now, but like it's crazy. Like you know like, but that's the thing. Like you know, it's a hustle, right? I respect the hustle, whatever, you know, but at the same time, it's like, you know, would you say so? Here's my thing, and I want your opinion on this. Like, I think that you need to have, you know, principles and values that you stand for, and that you're not gonna just, you know, sell yourself. You know what I mean? For like those, like just think about those NPC lives. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, who
I
the
don't
like,
respect any of them.
you know what I mean? Like, it's
Just
like,
gonna say that. I mean, get your bag, but well, let me say this. I wouldn't be caught doing something like that.
yeah.
And I think there are a lot of temptations within like the content space. There's the fake NFT, crypto coin stuff. There's people who are always trying to use your audience and leverage it so they could profit. There are people who are always trying to sell some supplement to your audience, and you have to decide to maintain your integrity.
Yeah.
I'm very specific with the people I decide to work with. I could be like promoting so much shit on my YouTube channel, but I just don't, just because it seems like especially on YouTube, a lot of YouTubers usually lose their reputation through some type of a scam.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to be very careful and intentional with like brands I collaborated with. And yes, you have to have integrity.
Yeah.
You have to protect yourself, because then before you know it, you know, you're Logan Paul or whoever else getting exposed for crypto zoo, whatever the
Yeah.
F it is, type stuff.
And that's the thing, bro. It's like, gets to a certain point where it's like, bro, do you need to do that? like let's be serious, right? Like, you have millions of followers, I don't know, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, whatever. Bunch of money, bunch of followers, whatever. People really like, follow your content, whatever. And then you're gonna like scam them. You know what I mean? Like, why? Like, you first. That's first of all, like, you don't need the money, right? Like
Right.
that's like, it's wrong either way. Even if you needed the money, it's wrong either way. But
Right. Right.
you don't even need the money. You know what I mean? Like, that's the crazy part. And
Mhm.
it's like, you already have money. You know what I mean? Uh, like, is really worth, like, how much money is worth your word, your um you know what I mean, like, the respect that people have for you. You know what I mean? Like, how much money is worth that? That's invaluable. You know what I mean? Like, I like to say that, like, a man, the only thing that a man has, it's like, it's one word. You know what I mean? Like, if you fail on your word, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, how can I trust you? You know what I mean?
This is
Like,
true.
if you lied to me once, right? It's like, okay, you lied to me twice. You know what I mean? And then it's like, you tell me whatever you tell me, and I don't know if you're telling me the truth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's a lie. I can't trust you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, why I'm gonna be following you? You know what I mean? Like, why I'm gonna watch your videos? You know what I mean? Like, you lied to me. You know what I mean? Like, you scam me. Like, I kind of trust you. I liked you. And you know, honestly, I've seen that happen. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of times, as you said, like, from some crypto thing, or
Right.
NFT, like, whatever you want to call it. Like, a bunch of just scams. You know what I mean? Just straight up scams. And so,
It happens a lot, man. It happens
yeah,
a lot. I just think protect your reputation at all cost. You
yeah.
have to protect your reputation at all cost. You can't take that way too you can't take that lightly at all. And it would be tempting. Let's not act like these people aren't making a lot of money. Like, if you look at something like what was that big cryptocurrent the 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 crypto coin that was pretty popular, the one that all the financial guys got really involved in
I know.
with
I know. I know what you're talking about.
the Fredman guy. But there
Oh,
were a
you
lot of very
you
reputable people.
you talking about, like, FTX, the
FTX,
crypto exchange.
FTX.
Yeah.
The amount of
V-
respectable content creators who got caught up in FTX
Yeah.
should show you just how tempting some of these brand deals and some of these collaboration sponsorships are. A
But
lot of
maybe,
people
in that situation, bro, it's kind of in a gray area, because, like, it's like, okay, I'm because was so, oh yeah, yeah, like, buy crypto in this exchange. You know what I mean? And then it's like, I'm not telling you to buy a specific coin, right? That is my coin, that my guys created in
right,
the
because they set
background.
up an exchange, a platform,
Yeah, yeah.
and they
I
were
don't know, like,
leveraging their coin. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, if, like, okay, let's say, let's create the Chisha Z coin. By the way, if you see one, it's a scam. Okay, don't buy. It's a scam. It's a scam.
Right, right,
Forget about
right.
it, right? But
Thanks for the disclaimer before we get sued over here.
yeah, but, like, if you did that, and that, oh guys, buy this, whatever, like, bump and dump. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
that's like 100%. By the way, that's a crime. By the way, like, there's a lot of people that are not in jail that they should, like, that's straight up illegal, right?
Right.
Um, but like, yeah, in that situation, I think there were a few content creators that are, like, got caught in that situation, and they were, like, not, like, with no bad intention. You know what I mean? Like, with no you know that, because, like, with no, like, scam intention behind it. You know what I mean? Like, was like, oh yeah,
Right.
I knew some content creators um that actually, like, even lost money themselves, because they had money on the
'Cause they
exchange. You
got
know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, so that,
And
in that case, you know what I mean?
I think here's the rule of thumb I would have for anybody. If you don't understand it, don't promote it.
Yeah.
If you don't understand it, don't promote it. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't promote it. And if you also haven't used it personally, don't promote it. if you in those two things, and when I say use it personally, of course I'm talking about like skincare products and things like that. If you haven't, tested it to make sure you're not going to die, then like don't push it out to your audience or anything like that. But there are a lot of people who just they're willing to sell their soul for the money, and sometimes you got to have strict rules when it comes to those things. And I think after we've seen the whole crypto scam era kind of pass, people
Yeah,
are going to be more careful with other stuff that come in the future. I think this is the first time people weren't sure about like what direction other crypto scams would go, but now we're looking at it and we're thinking like a lot of content creators are like, let me be more careful. Like any crypto sponsorship is almost a red flag for most people now.
yeah, and it's like I'm pretty sure that. Okay, let me ask you this question. I don't think I ever asked you. Have you ever like received like proposals from? You don't have to say the name, but do you ever like received proposals from like casinos, stuff like that, to promote casinos on, like on your channel?
I don't know if I've ever gotten casinos,
Okay,
but I've definitely gotten cryptocurrencies,
okay, yeah,
and NFTs. You
and it's
know,
a lot of money, right? Like you can like it's a lot of money that they offer, right?
I mean, not enough for me to sell my soul
No, of
and
course, of
and and
course.
and bring down my YouTube channel. Maybe
But I
if we're
mean, like,
talking
let's
one
say,
billion dollars, I might pull out the biggest scam people have ever seen. I'll be like, hey, buy this new Chisha Z coin, everybody.
I'm sorry, brother.
Hey, everybody's got a price. No, I'm just kidding. I'll never do
Yeah,
that. But yeah, they offer a lot of money, man. They'll
yeah,
offer you a lot of money.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
the other thing too is people are a bit more hesitant when it comes to my top kind of content because
Mm.
it's controversial. Some of it isn't so much, but it's like borderline controversial. You're talking about social issues that people don't want to touch, like divorce, like
Yeah,
infidelity, and you're highlighting men's issues. So men deal with women if they're heterosexual and they're not, like gay or anything. So
yeah.
you're going to be talking a lot about men getting cheated on by another woman, and people just like to stay away from most of that stuff. But
Mm,
regardless, man, a lot of crypto stuff, a lot of video game stuff, a lot of supplements because I have a lot of men on the
mm,
channel. Um, there are people who I can tell it's a straight scam. There are a lot of scams too, where like somebody will reach out to you, and I'm careful with that stuff too. And so you just have to know how to do your research and navigate it so that you'll be okay. But I've got some great sponsors right now.
oh
Got
yeah,
some great. I'm happy with my sponsors,
yeah.
and I haven't. I wouldn't want any more unless if I'd be happy with those people.
Hmm, hmm. Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, you can make a bunch of money and be okay, and you don't need to like to do that stuff. Like you don't need to sell sell yourself. You know what I mean, for something that you don't believe in, and like just doesn't make sense at all, in my opinion, right?
Right.
Um, Yeah, bro. By the way, I just want to like like say here that I really appreciate you being on here, because I know
For
that
sure.
you don't make a lot of, because you were talking like about the sponsors, and I was thinking like you don't do a lot of podcasts. You know what I mean? Like you don't
No,
go on people's channels and stuff like that.
dude, I was
Um,
excited to be here, man. You already know,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
We
I know,
we
I know.
talk all the time, bro.
That's true. That's that. And by the way, I'm pretty sure that this podcast, compared to some conversations that we have, is going to suck. You know what I mean? It's like the time that
Yeah,
we are
yeah, yeah, yeah,
recording.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. It's
Like just
always
sucks.
the
You know?
good conversations happen when the camera's not going and the
Yeah,
mic
yeah,
is not recording. Those are like the best conversations. But this will be good too. I'm enjoying this. And of
yeah.
course, my pleasure. My
Nah, thank you so
pleasure.
much, bro. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it, because I know that like you are very like selective. Um, as I think, by the way, like as I think like most people should be, right? Like I
Right.
think that's another thing too. I think there's a lot of people that they think that they need to like collaborate or do, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying like that's a bad thing. I'm not saying, but that's a good thing. But you need to like like just the sponsorships. You know what I mean? Like you need to know who you deal with. You know what I mean? Like you need to know who you collaborate with. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like I think you are really good doing that. I think like that's something that is very. Um, I mean, would you say maybe I don't know if you want to go in this direction of the
Talk to me.
conversation,
Let's go.
but
Let's do it.
but maybe it's because of your faith, right? Like maybe it's because you like you know what I mean, like you're a man of like you know believe in God and like you know what I mean, like you have because like people that have like a faith, you know what I mean, um like they're not gonna like just they have values that they believe in, you know what I mean, like
Mhm.
it's not like everything goes, you know what I mean, like you believe in certain things, you know what I mean, and maybe for that reason you are more like you think more about the things, you know what I mean.
I definitely do have faith, but I think I don't want it to sound like I think I'm better than any other platform. If I'm gonna be
Yeah.
honest, I actually wouldn't mind going on other platforms. It just has to make sense. That's all that it comes down to for me.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm gonna go and travel and spend, like, a night in a hotel in a city, and then I'm gonna come do a podcast with you for 2 hours, and I'm gonna be losing money, and my own content is gonna come to a halt, what's the benefit there? I like the rate that I'm growing at. I don't wish I was growing any faster. I'm not in a rush. Yes, um, I wanna see growth, but I'm not in a rush to get any more known. You get to a point where people know who you are and you're walking around, like, in your city and people are approaching you. I like the fact that I'm not actually famous and only people who watch my
Yeah.
podcast recognize me. Like, I would hate to be so known, like Andrew Tate or some shit. That to me, that's I can see why some people may like it,
Hmm.
but I've also heard a lot of people who have that type of fame, Andrew Tate included, say things like, "You know what? It can get a bit too much at times as
Yeah.
far as people knowing where you are and you're paranoid and all that stuff." And so I have no rush, man. I don't need to be the center of attention. If I see a huge podcast reach out to me, which a couple have, I weigh out, well, what am I really getting out of this situation? Because most cases they're not going to pay you, and it's not just about the money, but it's
Hmm.
about you're taking me away from my audience. And they may be small, but I still care about them. And if I'm going to leave, it's got to be beneficial. There are a lot of people out there that just want to be seen. They
Yeah.
want to use the bragging rights of saying I was on this podcast and I was on that
Exactly.
podcast, and they feel good about themselves. Bro, I already feel great. I'm
Yeah.
happy. I like where I'm at right now. And
Yeah.
so if I'm coming on there, especially there's gonna be some bullshit and drama on top of that, and you bring some 304s, from OnlyFans, and you and who knows what's coming. I've had
Yeah.
women already on my show. I don't do that stuff anymore. It's stressful, So at this point, I've just decided like it needs to make sense, man.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it. And I was going into like,
And unless if I really like you, like
oh yeah,
Luis,
yeah,
then I'm gonna be on your podcast like I am right now here.
yeah. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, but I get it. And like, I think most people just care about obviously make a little bit more, make more like more followers, more money, whatever.
Right.
And that's what I was trying to get to. It's like you don't maybe there were like certain situations where you're gonna get like more followers, more money, more maybe even like monetarily would make sense, you know what I mean, like maybe maybe, but you don't like, as you said, is like I'm not in a rush, right?
And
It's
it's not
like,
always about money. I
yeah,
really wanna be
exactly,
clear on this. Like,
yeah.
people need to if you're a content creator right now and you're watching this, you need to understand, and if you're wondering why it's not always about money, is sometimes it's just about the commitment to your brand. I don't care if somebody's like, "I can give you $10,000." If you're gonna distract me for the next 6 months from sticking to my goal, and even if you're gonna give me $30,000 or maybe even $50,000, I might do it for the 50,000. I'm not gonna lie. No, I'm kidding. But if you're gonna distract me from my brand growing, and I'm gonna come back and my viewers are gonna be kind of unfamiliar with me, and you're taking away from my growth, then you're taking me away from the bigger picture
Yeah, the
of
long game,
everything that I'm
right?
working towards, and I'm focused on that long game
Yeah,
more than I am anything else.
yeah. No, I mean for sure, bro, for sure. Um, you know, it's like it's a marathon, right? It's not a sprint; it's a marathon.
Right.
And yeah, maybe let's go a little bit into that. Like, you know, like how many videos? So you already said this, but do you know how many videos have we done since like we like starting like working together? Like, do you know how many videos we did?
How many videos? Oof, man. I would have
I
to
also don't know, by the
I
way. I
could I
also don't
could
know.
you want me to take a wild guess? I could check right now. Um, I'm thinking it has to be over 2,000,
2000. Yeah, it needs to be like 2000 at least. Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
even over that, I think.
yeah,
That's a
yeah.
lot.
That's a lot, bro.
That's a lot of content. And I don't
Yeah,
think people realize how much content that is in the short time that we've actually just been, um, working together.
yeah. It's so much. That's why it feels like it's more longer than like 1 year and a half. Um, it's because we've done so much, so many
Right.
videos, and maybe because we also like talk, a little bit, and maybe because of that. But I think it's because of how much videos like we do, you know, and so ha- let's go a little bit into like the system that we have, and let's go a little bit like how it was like to build this crazy machine that pumps out whatever how many videos that we do like for a month, like per month, whatever, like um it's around like almost like 100 when we are like at full capacity.
Yeah.
It's like how almost like 100 videos, without shorts, right? um
What about if we
100.
include the shorts? We gotta include the shorts. I mean, the shorts, they're
Yeah,
impactful.
yeah, it's like, so it's more than 100, right? Like if we go over everything, it's like over 100 videos and shorts. I don't think that we've done like less than 100 shorts and videos for, I don't know, I don't want to lie, but like
For
it's
like a
at
month,
least 100.
for like a month or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe January, right? Maybe this
When
January, maybe.
Yeah,
But
right.
yeah,
Because I
but
was off on vacation.
yeah, but working full capacity, easy, easy 100.
Easily 100.
And so it's
Easily
like,
100.
so um like, do you want to talk a little bit about like how we created the strategy and like how we like do things?
Yeah. I think communication is, like, key, but I think even more than communication is everybody knowing their role within the system that you set up, and it has to be easily accessible. So, we use a lot of, like, online portals. For example, we have, like, Riverside, which I don't mind promoting at all. They're a great place to record content and sometimes do live, even though I haven't done one yet. And my team who edits and your guys have access to that. And then we use a lot of online drives, Google Drive, and it's a system that's set up so that I start off recording the videos and then it moves to you editing the videos. And we have another guy who does the thumbnails. And then I go and proof watch everything and confirm thumbnails, which now that I think about it, there was some point where we had 8 guys working, 3 channels going at the same time. There was so much going on there.
So much. Yeah.
It was like 8 guys in there, right?
Yeah.
Working at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's another thing, man. When you are a one-man show, thinking about how you're gonna set up a system that's, like, smooth, it's kinda tough to first learn how to work with other people,
Yeah.
especially other people in different time zones. And at some point, I had Pakistan. We still, we have you, and then we had someone in New York, and even here in the U.S., New York is still there's still a couple of hour difference
Mhm.
in that. So just fine tuning that is can be challenging. But I think the most important thing is you got to figure out where does it start and what's everybody's role in the team that you're building.
Yeah.
I think you're really good at systems, though. I almost think like you fine tune a lot of the ideas I have. Maybe you should talk about a little bit of that. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I mean, the that's maybe I think one of the first thing I get from like new clients is like, oh, nobody can edit my videos. You know what I mean? Like that's the first thing. Oh, nobody can edit like myself. Like I'm the best.
Do they really say that?
Yeah, so many times, so many. That's one of the biggest things. It's like, oh yeah, this is like so this happens not with like business owners, more like a business owner. I'm saying like somebody outside of YouTube,
Right,
like, hey, yeah, I mean, I want to do some videos, do your thing. Like they don't really care, because
right,
they,
right.
they do other things. But I'm talking like a content creator, like a YouTuber, that one man show. That's one of the first things. It's like, oh yeah, but like, yeah, I'm not like nobody can
Loser.
edit.
That's all I think about. I'm like, bro, you're going to fail, bro.
Yeah.
Like you can't beat us. You can't beat a team. You can't beat a team of people who are out of their minds. I started to cut the meat from like the team, and um I really I really felt bad because I just had some really good people that I didn't want to let go of at the time, you know?
Yeah.
But even at that time, it's just that I had to let go of a couple of channels. But you can't win against a team of people who are insane. You can't. And I wish they could understand that. Then they wouldn't say that. They would know that like I'm going to need help. Your competition will crush you.
No question.
This is the business side that nobody sees. You
Yep.
just see the videos being made consistently, but you don't see the other side. Like there's real people out here
Oh yeah.
working behind the scenes to get this content out, and you're there by yourself. Oh, you're gonna get crushed. You're gonna get crushed.
Keep going. Keep going, by the
Right, right,
way.
right, right, right. I love to hear it, man. If I see a guy and he's like, I hope my competition thinks he can do it on his own.
Yeah.
Pride will keep you from really growing in
Yeah.
this content game if you don't think you need help. That
Yeah.
pride will really keep you from growing.
And I don't think if it's even, by the way, like maybe it's pride. You said pride. Maybe it is pride. Maybe it is pride. Maybe it is. I'm not sure what it is, honestly. But I get it. You know what I mean? I
Lack
get
of
it.
trust, pride. I think for
Yeah.
me, maybe I said pride because that's what it was for me. I used
Mm,
to think that way. I used to be
yeah.
like, man, there's no way. Like I'm the
By the
best
way, by the
editor.
way, I remember when I did the first, like I remember this. So I wish I had the audio. I don't have it, but I remember the first time that like I edited a video for you, the first video, and I
Right.
said, "Hey, like let me know what you think," and you sent me like a voice message, like you sent me a voice message like,
I was
"Yo,
going crazy, wasn't
man,
I?
this is so cool," you know what I mean? And then, by
Right,
the
right.
way, like just this, just so you guys know, like I remember like the voice of your now wife, right? Oh, you're excited. You know what I mean? Like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
background. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Oh,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
excited.
yeah. She was my girlfriend back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you were like and then and then we talk on the phone, and I was like, oh, I like somebody said like you're excited, like because you're
She
literally
was
like,
asking me why I was so
yeah,
excited, and I was like, I didn't think this guy would do it. I was trying to tell her like I thought I was the best, and I wasn't. I wasn't where I'm at now, and I look back, I'm like, man, there's no way, bro. There's no way. You just got to let go of that lack of trust. You got to let go of that pride of thinking that you're better, and you need help. You need people to help you out here,
yeah,
and it's gonna make you better. It's
yeah,
gonna take you to new heights.
yeah. And would you say that like was because when we were like doing everything by yourself, right? you were probably in a situation where you were like extremely like stressed, right? Because like you're like just recording, editing, like doing everything, right? And you feel like, okay, I need to put this videos out, right? Because you saw like some growth, right? And you're seeing like the money coming in, like things are going well, right? And
Mm.
like you want to like capture, right, the moment, right? Like you want to like like I have a situation here where I need to just go for it. This is the moment where I need to push. But then you're like, yeah, but like my energy, you know what I mean? Like I'm just so stressed. I'm so
Right, right.
And would you say that after like when we started like working together, that like um you started like to feel better, meaning like I have more time, maybe I can sleep more. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
yeah. Yeah. And, this is gonna sound bad, but I wanted to win. Like, it's a friendly competition with other content creators you
Yeah.
see, and they inspire you. You look at them and you say, "Wow, I'm doing 1 video a day, but how's that guy doing 2 a day? How's that guy doing 3 a day?" There's no way he's doing that by himself because you're looking at how much sleep you're getting, you're looking at the time. There's no way he's doing
Impossible.
4 videos a day, you know? So
Yeah.
I wanted to be up there, and it's a friendly competition with the people who you're working with,
Hmm.
and you want to win. At the same time, you're also enjoying what you're talking about and you believe in it.
Of
It's not
course.
just about like winning and everything like that. But it was also for me, I want to be regarded as a respectable content creator within that space. And I knew some guys who were doing it at a more um, sophisticated level. They were churning out more content. And I was like, I want to be there.
Mm.
And that was my main motivation. I was stressed. I would go 2 days without sleeping sometimes
Crazy.
just because I was excited and still because it's exciting,
Hmm.
you see
Hmm.
some traction, you're having a good time. But that can very quickly, when you start losing sleep, it could turn into from excitement to a mental stress and an overload and all this shit. And you're just like, okay, coffee isn't gonna fix it today. I might need to figure out what I'm gonna do here to get stronger and keep pushing forward. And that's when you need help.
Yeah.
That's when you need help.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Because like eh, it is what it is, man. You can do that for a little bit, maybe, you know what I mean? You stress yourself and you do it, but then eventually like you need. And by the way, like just we were talking like about like the most common things about the systems that comes up
Right.
like from new clients. And that's the first thing. I'm the nobody can edit my videos. That's the first thing that from a YouTuber, especially a YouTuber, that's almost the first thing, right? If he's in a situation where it's one man show. Then the second thing is I don't know what type of content to do. You know what I mean? Like I don't know which video to record. I think we
Right.
actually talked about this.
We did. We talked about this for a little bit.
We talked about this, and that's one of the things that we don't have problems with.
Yeah.
um but
Thank God.
yeah, for sure. But it's like one of those things where myself, like I can help you, you know what I mean, but I cannot fix it for you, you know what I mean. Like it's like, because here's what happens, okay? Then I say, well, we can do this. Like I just create a type of let's say 3 or 4 different series, if you want to call it that, or different types of videos that we can do. And then it's like, yeah, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
it's like I don't know if it's going to work because I do everything by myself. You know what I mean? So and
Mhm.
they are used to this type of video, so I don't know, blah 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 blah. And then I'm like, listen, if you don't, because one of the one man shows channels, the most common thing it's like they post maybe 1 to 2 videos a week, maybe, right? Maybe a little bit more, maybe 3, whatever.
Right.
But they work like a lot of hours, no stop, just to post a few videos a week and that's it. And they feel like they need to keep going as they are. and they feel like, no other type of video is going to work. You know what I mean? Like the things that are doing, I need to just to keep doing them. And here's the thing, like, I really believe that, and we are, by the way, like, even with you, man, that we are all the time like trying to figure out a system where it's sustainable, where we can do good videos, right?
Right.
Good content. The first thing is like good content, right? We need good coffee, right? That's the first thing. But then it's like we need to make this sustainable.
Hmm.
We need to do this in a way where we don't do just one video a week, right? Or like we have like 20, 30 hours in a video. That's not sustainable. You know what I mean? Like we
Hmm.
need to have a system where, okay, maybe we have a few different videos, meaning, for example, those videos where you record, like sometimes 1 hour. I remember a video that we did, from Andrew Tate a while ago, was like
Hmm.
maybe, I think, oh yeah, with Patrick at David, it was like 4 or 5 hours. You reacted to the whole thing. You know
Right.
what I mean? And it's like,
That was a
yeah,
great. That was a great video. I
yeah,
enjoyed that one.
and it's like,
Patrick Bet David is awesome.
yeah, for sure. And it's like we can do that for a little bit. Like that video, I don't remember, but like was long, long time editing,
Very long.
and it's like that's fine, but not for every video. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it's just not possible, right?
It's not. It's not.
And so I think that's the other thing. It's like you need to find a way where you create content, but it's going to be sustainable long term. Like
Yes.
you're going to be able to make video. Like we know how much time it takes to do an average video. You know what I mean? Like we know how much time you take it, on average, right, to record. We know on our side how much time it takes to edit. Like we know, okay, we need to have 20 videos. We know how
Right.
much time it's going to take. You know what I
And
mean?
also the length of recording time too. You need to. Most people, they're just lazy, man. They're just lazy. I have to be honest, man, because like people don't speak about these things honestly. Like if you go search on YouTube, you're gonna have a bunch of people talking about, hey, so the first thing you want to do is like, nah, man, stop being fucking lazy and look at everything. Everything matters. Understand, like, okay, how long do I want my videos to be?
Mhm.
You have to know how long you takes for you to actually record a video. The biggest thing I run into, because as a content creator, you have people asking you for advice, is they'll tell you like, oh yeah, I'm doing one video a week. You'll be like, okay, cool. And I'll ask them, the next thing I'll ask is, how long does it take you to do that one video?
Mm.
And they'll say an hour. And I'm like, an hour? Okay, that's it. Like you should be doing one video every day. Now, if you don't want to make YouTube your thing, as in your main bread and butter,
Mhm.
then I understand not taking it that
Yeah,
seriously.
like a
But
hobby or something. Yeah.
right. And people usually ask me that because they want to grow. And so the number one thing I just usually spend time convincing people is like stop being lazy and produce more content. Rarely are people good enough that they can just produce one video a week, and that's like 4 videos in a month, and they're set and their life is taken care of as a content creator.
It's very hard.
Rarely. Some people are that good. I can admit that I need to do more. I'm not
Mm.
somebody who can get on here and one video, boom, 5 million views. And I look at the algorithm. I don't argue with it. I don't think, oh, how come that person does this? And how come this? It's like, no, what do I need to do? More videos, good. Let's go. We need more. And you just got to be practical with it and be willing to put in the work. And eventually you grow and you do less for those videos.
Yeah. Yeah. And like right now, and that's another thing. Even sometimes you can even do more, but with less time. You know what I mean? Like because you have the system in place
Exactly.
where it's like a machine, a machine. Like things just kind of seem naturally happening. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because you have a system in place where like man, like I'm working less hours, but we're doing more videos. Like,
Right.
how the hell is this
It's
happening?
magic.
It's
It's
like
magic.
magic.
Man, Luis does magic. He does magic over there at, the
Glory giant.
giant global
Yeah.
giant. So you guys need to
Glory,
go.
glory giant. I
Glory
changed
Giant.
I changed
Oh, okay.
the name of the company. It was Alpha Productions, right, for a long time.
Right. That's what I
Um,
wanted to say first. That's crazy.
Alpha
I was thinking
Productions,
to
yeah,
myself,
yeah,
okay,
like because you actually like did a
what
video.
inspired the name? Because I think it was a good idea, by the way.
Okay, the Glory Giant name.
No. Yeah, the name Glory Giant.
Glory Giant, yeah. So was Alpha Productions, because my name is Luis Alfaia, right? So Alpha, that was like it's the beginning of my name, Alpha, right?
Mhm.
Alfaia, Alpha. So was Alpha Productions because of that, like, obvious Alpha and then Productions. But then because of bureaucracy here in Portugal, right? Just government stuff, boring. But just paper, whatever. Oh yeah, this name doesn't work. You need to change it. Just trademarks, whatever. Like similar stuff where you can't. The government saying you can't use this name, essentially, right? And then I had to change it.
Hmm.
And so I was like, okay. And then I tried a bunch of different names. You know what I mean? And then they have like a list of names that they essentially like it's pre-accepted, like it's weird, whatever.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
essentially I gave like 10 names. None of them they accepted. Then from
Wow.
that list I sent two names, they said no, and then the third name of that
Wow.
one, yeah, it was like, bro,
They're
Portugal is
pretty
crazy.
strict over
Yeah,
there.
it's crazy, bro. It's socialist, but no, I don't want to get into politics. Okay, so
Just stay away from
so
politics.
let's stay away from politics. So, so then they had Glory Giants there, and I was like, Glory Giant. It's kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of cool. Okay, I'm go. Let's go with Glory Giants. So it wasn't like my idea. You know what I mean? It's like it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't
That's
my idea. It
interesting.
was
That's
just like,
interesting.
and because like I wanted a name in English, because obviously that I work with UK, US, and so I didn't want to like a Portuguese name,
Right.
and so they just have a few in English, and yeah, and it was just that was it. Um,
I think it's dope.
Glory Giant, yeah, I thought as well. At first, I was like, it's kind of I don't know, Glory Giant, like I don't, but then I was like, it's kind of cool, yeah, okay. Um, so yeah, bro. Like now, I want to go like to maybe you don't going to have an answer, but I wanted to go like, what was the best video that we did? You know what I mean? Like, do you have a video
Hmm.
they were like, this is the best one that we created?
That's a good question. That's a really good question.
I know it's hard because it's
No,
thousands of.
I'll take a second here and think about it.
Yeah,
Best video we did.
yeah. I don't have an answer, by the way. It's hard. I don't have an answer as
That
well.
is tough. I have a lot of different videos that I really like we did. If I'm going to be really honest with you, I really like the longer form videos.
Mm,
And when I think of like the best videos we did, I think of those. And those aren't usually um the ones we do a lot of.
mhm, mhm,
They perform well, but right off the top of my head, I think of like there are a couple of videos I did like I really like when I have a long video
mhm.
and I have an idea in my mind of how I want it to go. And it has all these plots and turns, and it's like 30 minutes. And there's been a lot of times where I've had this like, okay, I want to show this, I want to explain this to people, and then go to this concept and then this concept and bring it like to do that in recording, but then not actually edit it, and then to see it on screen feels so good.
Yeah,
It feels so good, man. To see like your idea of how you've envisioned a full kind of long form video come together because you have plots and twists and turns within that. There's funny parts in that. And I usually have like a storyline where I'll expect things to go, but to see it come out the way I wanted it to is really good. The 10-minute videos, those are like pretty straightforward. It's like one video, you react to it, whatever. But when it's like a longer form video with different kind of pointers and aspects, it's good to see it come together, man.
Yeah. And I don't have like also like I don't have like a favorite video. I was just curious to see like if you had maybe one in your mind. But my favorite videos are the ones where you like where you essentially like maybe it's the same thing that you said. It's like when you can go over and like really explain yourself in like a certain point, and then you know what I mean, like just something that you go deep, you know what I mean, not
Right.
just, I mean, there are some videos that are just fun, you know what I mean,
Right,
just
right.
funny videos, you know, like of course, but I like the ones where you go deep on a certain, you know what I mean, like thing, and then explain yourself. And you know, I already told you this, like sometimes I'm, you know, doing a video and I'm like, maybe she should forgot about this, and then a little bit after that you know, boom, you say, you know, like, oh man, like,
Well, that
you know
I,
what
I I
I
think I think I think people don't really know how much coffee you do drink.
mean?
I know you say you don't actually, drink this coffee, which I just finished my cup, but you drink coffee. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? You drink coffee on the coffee pot for sure. You understand. You were enlightened for sure.
yeah, yeah. And maybe that helped, right, with the process of like when we start working together, right? Maybe that helped because we we talked, and we talked about, you know, obviously, you know, the things that the content that you do, right,
Right.
you know, the subjects. And well, honestly, like I remember like thinking, and I think I even said to you like, this is crazy, like this is, you know what I mean, like this is
Right.
crazy, like like this guy, you know, like I don't know him from nowhere, you know, and like we are just like, you know, like it's crazy, like how can we um just agree on a bunch of things
Mhm.
and be in the same page, right? And it's funny because sometimes like we are talking, like you finish my sentence, you know what I
Right,
mean,
right, 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 right.
like I know you should think it, bro. I was like, crazy, bro, like how this happens.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I don't know, maybe it's because like maybe it's because the thing of like I watched your videos, and maybe like I sent you a message like because like we are kind of interested in the same things,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Maybe it's just a man thing, I don't know.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it too. I also think that people really underestimate how many people out there they can connect with, they can agree
Mm,
with. They just don't reach out. And in that case, you reached out to me, and I was very grateful for that. But people think that there aren't people out there who can relate to them, and they miss out opportunities because they don't want to take the risk
mm,
to maybe try and work with somebody. And it can be a bit daunting, like I said in the beginning, especially if you're a new content creator. But you'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised who you can find and who you can appreciate. Like, okay, cool. This person kind of gets what I'm going for. And a really good, um, I think a really good team player doesn't necessarily even have to agree with your whole outlook on life.
oh yeah, of course, yeah.
It's really just comes down to, do they listen? And that's what I felt like when we would talk. I'd be like, okay, when I talk to Luis, he's hearing like the goals I have. He's hearing me out. If I bring out an idea, he remembers like, okay, I know you want to do this. He implements it, and that's important too. But you never know that unless if you go out, reach out to other people, network, and actually try and get to working with somebody. And then also, of course, don't be lazy.
That's the first thing, right? Like, don't be lazy, bro. Like, don't be
Don't be
lazy.
lazy.
And you know what? Like, we already talked, and obviously, I'm not gonna say names because I respect those, those people, and I respect everybody. So I'm not gonna say, no names, no anything. But and some situations, and some channels, some people, right? Let's say just
Mhm.
some people that, and this happened to me in the past multiple times, where I see people get lazy, when they get a little bit of, you know, when things are going well. Let's say, you know what I mean? You wanted 100,000 subscribers, now you have them, and now you're making this amount of money, and then you say, "Oh, I'm pretty comfortable, so now I'm gonna make less videos," and then, you know what I mean? And then I'm like, because you have to think, like, in my position, right? I'm not like the owner of your channel, right?
Right,
Like,
right, right.
I'm not like the owner of Shisha Z, you know what I mean, or the brand. No, you are the owner. I'm just somebody that you work with, right? And so it's like, I don't, I'm not the boss. I don't tell you, oh, by the way, you need to record videos, right? I don't do that because that's not my place. You know what I mean?
Right.
I may say, hey, bro, by the way, like, I think I suggest that maybe we can do this, and then it's your decision.
Mhm.
But I'm not in the position where I can I can boss you around. When I say you, I'm saying you and my clients. Like, I cannot boss them around
Right.
saying, by the way, I need footage. Don't be lazy. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
But
Like,
I can say it, so I'm saying it for you.
but you know what I mean? But that's something that it has happened a lot. You know what I mean? And especially they get when where they want it to be. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, you because, like, you have this goal in mind, right? Whatever it is, 100,000 subscribers, 200,000, whatever it is, right? Or this amount of money, whatever, and then
Mhm.
you hit it, right? Like, do you remember when you hit it like 100,000 subscribers? What I
I
told,
remember.
do you remember
I
what I told you?
You said did you say this is just the beginning or something like that? Or what did you
Yeah.
say?
I said, this is just the beginning. Like,
Right.
this is just the beginning.
Right.
And that's my thing. It's like, bro, this is just the beginning. Like, it's cool. You got the plaque. You know what I mean? Like, it's 100,000 subscribers. That's nice. Uh we're just starting. You know what I mean? Like, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, that's fine. Let's keep going. You know what I mean? That's kind of the thing that it's like, why stop? Like, why,
Right,
why,
right.
why, why? Like, I get it. Like, maybe we were, and by the way, we were in a certain, in a specific moments, we were like overworking. Like, we were like, like doing a lot, right? There's seasons, right? There are seasons,
Mhm.
but, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I think there's, because then I'm in a position where I can't do anything. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. Like, I cannot record the footage for yourself. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
from like, just imagine the following, right? You start to get lazy. Right? You start to get lazy.
Impossible.
I know, right? I know.
We
But
just get that out there
let's
to in
say in
case the
another,
competition's watching.
let's say in the in another universe. You know what I mean? Like, in a parallel, universe
Right.
that doesn't exist,
That
obviously.
doesn't exist.
Yeah. But I couldn't tell you anything. Like, sure, like, I have some confidence with you, you know what I mean? And, like, maybe I could say, hey, bro, like, I could say something,
Mhm.
but doesn't matter what I say. Like, what can I do, right? And then it's like, oh, the channel doesn't make money. Oh, the sponsors don't want to pay. Like, wow,
Right.
really? That's a surprise. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right.
Of course, that of course, like, you got lazy, right? So you don't get views. So people moved on to another, YouTuber, whatever. They don't care about you anymore, and that's it. That's
That's it.
bro. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
and so it's like,
I think a lot of people don't realize that you're either, and this is unfortunate, but this is just what it is in business. And let me first start from this from the business aspect. At some point, every content creator realizes that they have to choose. They have to choose whether they want this to be something they do on the side, because you're going to work so hard that you're going to say, I don't know if I can still do this. And so if you're not going to still do that, what are you going to do? You're going to have to get a job,
yep,
and then maybe do that when you get time. And that's okay. You don't have to make it a business.
of course, yeah,
But a lot of people don't understand that they have to make a decision. They just kind of burn out and then think, "Oh, I'm not happy anymore. There's no option. YouTube is slavery, or whatever the hell people want to call it, a slave to content." And the way to avoid being a slave to content and burning out is, of course, like we talked about, getting help. And now you're turning your side gig and the thing you were doing because it was like just fun to a business.
yeah,
And now you're learning to be a boss. Now you're learning to manage a team. Now you're learning to work with a team. And you learn that you have to be humble and have some sort of humility when dealing with people. And you and this is just me giving tips on that, as somebody who's working with a team. And so now you realize, like, okay, when it comes to a business, it's either you're growing or you are not growing. Those are the only two options. And not growing means that you're going downhill. And that's just what it is. Either you're growing or
you're dying.
you're dying, right? Your
Yeah,
channel is dying. And as brutal as that sounds, it's just the truth. And
it's
people
business,
think that they could just chill and wait, and then they could just hop back on. It's a very
bro.
dangerous game to play that.
Can you read this?
Let me see. It's not personal. It's strictly business. That's what I'm talking about.
It is what it is, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it's not personal, bro. Like,
I like that.
you know what I mean? It's like, and it is true, bro. It is true. It's like, it's just business. And it is what it is. And when you are like getting lazy and, oh, I'm tired, whatever, there's guys like us. Know what I mean? I mean,
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm
It's
sorry, bro.
true. This is
I'm sorry.
true.
It is what it is. But maybe you were talking about like the thing of like getting burned out and stuff like that. Do you want to like share like maybe the uh I'm talking like after we started like working together, like do you like maybe even some situation where you got like upset with me or something like that? You know, the worst moment like from this like year and a half.
Upset?
Maybe not upset, but you know, whatever.
I
Like,
don't think, and I'm not kidding when I say this. Like, upset that I can remember. Now there's frustrations. There's like you're gonna bump heads with people.
mhm.
I you do that with almost anybody you work with, right? Me
Yeah,
and you would have those things where you'd be like, "Hey, man, like you can't, like I can't get content like this late," and I'm there like, "Okay, so what are we gonna do? Okay, we're gonna have to revisit, blah blah blah,
yeah,
and work things out."
never like arguing. It's just like trying to
No, no,
figure
no, no,
out
no, no,
things.
no.
You know what
It's
I mean?
never
Like,
arguing, but I've been ridiculous sometimes. Like I'll record like 3 hour long video and be like, "Hey, can you finish this in like today?" And it's I'm sending it like 3 a.m. in the morning on your side, and you're just like, "What the hell?" But that's based on our relationship. Like now, it almost feels like we're just like, like sort of like friends who just kind of work
yeah,
business
it's true.
first,
It's
business
true.
first. But at this point, it's sort of like, hey, Luis, are you able to? Like, if you're not, I understand. That's where we're at now. You know,
Yeah,
has there been a couple of times, maybe a couple of times when I've thought to myself, man, he may be. See, I'm even trying to think of something.
yeah. Maybe not even with myself, but whatever. Like I was thinking, like in this year and a half, what was like the worst moment? Like the what was the hardest situation, or something that
It's
we.
good that I'm taking this long to think about it, because I want to find something here so I can make you look bad in front of everybody.
No, go ahead, go ahead. I want to know the truth. You know what I mean?
You want to drink some coffee, huh?
And coffee, no
Let me
problem.
see. Let me see. Shoot, I gotta have one. If there's anything that's ever been frustrating, it's I think I got too used to just having such when you get a bit entitled when you have a team of help,
Mm,
because you just record and just send it. You're like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait for that thing to be finished. Sometimes you'd be like, hey man, I'm not gonna be able to do today. I'm swamped with this and that. And I know I sent it late. And I'm
mm,
just like, oh shit. And so then I'd be like, all right, cool, no problem. And
yeah,
I've learned to say no problem because that happens literally like less than 1% of the time in the whole 2 years we've been working together.
yeah,
Have you said like, I won't be able to do? I think I could count if it's been like once or twice or something like that,
yeah,
But that's understandable. That's understandable
yeah,
because I've definitely sent things later more times and you've worked with me. And I think that's what a lot of content creators look for is somebody who's going to work with them,
yeah,
but you expect of that stuff. You're going to have a person who does your thumbnails who's going to miss it one day and they're going to be like, oh shit, my bad. You're going to have somebody who, is editing for you and they may have multiple big projects on that day and they'll give you a time frame that may not be ideal, but at least they're going to get it to you and you don't have to edit it yourself. And you're gonna have at one point I was working with a narrator,
yeah,
and a content source person. We had a video editor, a content source guy, a thumbnail guy, a shorts guy. We had a person who's just doing shorts.
yep,
And then the voiceover person. And so when you have that many people working, the first thing I usually ask myself before I get upset, and this will give you a tip with working with a team, is before I say, why isn't this done? You need to ask your team, is there something I can do to make this easier for you to get this done faster or better?
yeah,
And you'd be surprised how many times people you're working with have opinions that they're just keeping to themselves and they just don't want to offend you. And they'll say, like, you know what, I do think that like that person's stupid. And I don't even know why he's, whatever, you know.
yeah,
But usually they'll give you a tip. They'll say, hey, the fact that I have to wait for this, and that, I think it would be easier if you do it this way. Then you look at it from that perspective, because a lot of the times your system is usually messed up. And that's easier to fix, by the way, than fixing the person. If you
mhm.
can fix the system
This
and take out a step that's unnecessary, and they're just like, okay, yeah,
But
that
by the
makes
way,
it easier
bro,
for me, it makes it better.
that's you're saying that, and I'm thinking that's something that you have that is actually not very common. Because when people are paying, right, they feel like I'm the boss, so for that reason I'm the one in charge, so for that reason everything needs to be my way. You know what I mean? And so that happens, right?
Right,
That
right,
happens. And so it's like, and I'm like talking with you and you're like, hey, talk to me, talk to me. You know what I mean? Like, what can you do? Like, what can we do to be better? You know what I mean? Like, what can I do? Like to, let's move forward. Like, what can we do? And that's, showing like I'm humble. I don't know everything. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, sure, like I may know a little bit, but maybe this person knows something, right, that I don't know.
right,
And if I have more information, I can do like a better situation for everybody to be better, right?
right,
And by the way, that happens a lot with my team on my side. It's like the first question that I ask, by the way, it's everything okay? Know what I mean? Like if everything is going, something is going wrong, and I'm like, hey, just I think. And by the way, I ask my clients as well. I think I asked you a few days ago, like, "Hey, bro, everything is okay," something like that.
Oh, yes, 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 yes.
Because by the way, like, because you know what I mean, like when somebody goes ghosts, right?
Right, right,
It's
right.
like, "Hey, bro, just like, it's
I
everything okay?"
disappeared for, like, 2 days or something like that.
That's a long time for
It
me.
is, it is, it is a long time. You weren't the only one, by the way.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, a few people were asking me. Yeah, that's it's unlike me to especially if I'm going, I'll at least let you guys know.
Yeah, yeah. No, but it's like it's communication, right? It's like
Mm,
trying to figure out like what we can do to be better, essentially. Like,
right.
and by the way, like, if you weren't able to do that, right? We wouldn't be able to like create the systems that we have in place and create like the way that we work. Wouldn't be possible
Very
because,
true.
like, if you're not open to me like giving you some feedback, right? Because like you feel like, oh, I pay you, so I'm the boss, so I know. It's like, okay, I get it,
Plain
but
and simple, you're losing. You lose. You lose. The great, 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 great people, kings, presidents, they have advisors. They have people like, and I'm using them as an example, not because I feel like I'm a great king or anything, but I'm saying those are people who you would think like rule with an iron fist and they don't listen to anybody. Who people think like, oh, these great men, but no, they had advisors.
mhm,
If they can do it, you're just a YouTuber.
yeah,
And I hope somebody else has a vantage point, a perspective I don't have. And a lot of the time, somebody else does have it within your team
hmm,
when you have that conversation. And
yeah,
so once you approach it with, is there something I can do to fix it? A lot of people will say, especially because they probably think, um, because you ask them like, hey, I noticed this isn't done, they think you're going to reprimand them. They'll say
exactly,
something like,
yeah,
"Oh yeah, I haven't done that. I'll get on that now." They think you're gonna come with the whole like, "Okay, well, let's not let this happen again." It's like, no. Is there something I can do to make it easier for you? If they say no, they'll usually say themselves that like, I just need to be better. I got you. I'll get better at that. Cool. That's all I can ask for. And I didn't have it all down the first time when I first started with YouTube. And you just got to have grace, man. And I think um, people would rather work and stay with somebody who they can get along with. They'll even like be more loyal to that person. I think overall, like it just works out for you in the long run. Um, I'll
yeah,
have guys who unfortunately had to kind of cut ties just because like the project wasn't working out, whatever. We're moving on to something else. They'll still hit me up like, man, you're one of the most professional people and like understanding people I've worked with.
yeah,
And I rarely say that type of stuff. I'm not trying to brag, but that makes me feel good.
yeah.
That makes me feel good. That's why I do things the way I do it, and because I actually feel good when somebody say, you know what, working with that person was actually a good experience, and I didn't feel like I was
Bro,
belittled or taken advantage of.
I want to say this. I want to say this. I think maybe I already told you in private, but I considered like multiple times. Um, I'm not joking. Being like, you know what? I'm just gonna work with Chisha. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna like just go. You know what I mean? Like, just I'm being serious.
Move to California.
Like, oh yeah, no, but even like even if I didn't move, I was like, bro, just like maybe I'm gonna talk with Shisha, maybe like trying to just be 100%, just and that's because like we connected in such a level that I was like, man, like this is not like because it's not. I'm not saying that I don't have like other clients that I like and enjoy to work with them. Of course I do,
Right.
but was not, it's like you as you said like previously you said just a little bit ago, it's like I don't feel that you're just a client. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I don't know, like by the way, like, and I try to do this with everybody, right? I try to be like I myself, right? Like I don't change, or like I'm not trying to be like to be something that I'm not or whatever. I try to be like a professional and a good guy and trying to do the right thing and try to be as professional as possible, and all that. Um, but so I was sometimes when I'm like stressing and stuff like that, because I have like a lot of things going on, I'm like, why not just like what we should, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Right.
I'm just gonna like, you know what I mean? I'm just gonna be you know, editing the videos that I love. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
So
right,
working
right.
with Chisha, everything is calm. You know what I mean? Because sometimes, it's a lot of stuff is going on. Um,
Mm,
but I'm not complaining because I love it at the same time.
right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it just doesn't feel like I'm working. You know what I mean? And so, but by the way, like I love what I do. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that it's so it's feels so natural, right? It feels so. I know I think you
I
know what I
I
mean.
I know what you mean because
Yeah,
even it's just like with anything else, even with content creators, they have stuff they do because it's like part of the job. Then they have stuff they do because
exactly.
it's like, man, I could do this all the time. And for
Yeah.
me, at one point that was editing, and eventually editing
Mhm.
became that thing where it was like, oh man, not another freaking video. Not I can't edit ever again. And I think
Yeah.
by that time I had already edited like almost 1,000 videos or something
Mm.
like that. Maybe less.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, man, I think I don't have the perspective you have, if I'll be honest with you. You're the
Yeah.
first editor I had, and it worked perfectly. I
Yeah.
think if I had if I had, like, really bad experiences, it's kinda like people who, um if I had, like, really bad experiences before that, then I would have been able to say, like, "Yeah, I can really relate to you," but I think I was just fortunate, man, and I see other people, they've been through different a bunch of different editors, and I'll tell you what was tough to find, a good voiceover person. I remember when I was, trying to, like, start this voiceover channel and going through different people, it was tough to find somebody until I finally found somebody who was really good,
Yeah.
um, really good voiceover guy.
Yeah, and it's like, and by the way, thanks for that. I, and I felt like I was fortunate as well to like, because here's the thing. Okay, here's the thing. Like we are in a situation where like it's like, even we if we stop working, I'm gonna always like have this friendship. You know what I mean? Like
Right,
it's like, if tomorrow you say, "Hey, bro, I'm gonna stop doing YouTube. I'm gonna do whatever,"
right.
and like was great, but you know, I'm gonna be like, "Hey, bro, wish you all the best," and I wish like come here, have some vacations, you go somewhere. You know what I mean? It's like it, it's just something that we've built over time, and I'm extremely grateful for that. Um, yeah, I mean it's been amazing, and so maybe yeah, maybe the next question after the worst situation is, what was the best situation? What was the with the best moments? You know what I mean? Like the pinnacle. You know what I mean?
To
Until me.
see the fruits of our labor, to see the us seeing
Mm,
the growth, the growth.
yeah,
And I that's just what it is, man. When you see
yeah,
those numbers start going up
yeah,
after working tirelessly and continuously, and those numbers are in the green, oh, that feeling of like, this is a safe investment here. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it feels great,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And it's after a lot of work. And I think I was happy with the team, and knowing that everybody in the team was also happy,
Mm,
because when the cool thing about not just being a one-man show, is that you also have multiple people to celebrate your wins. It's not just you. You can talk about the struggles of, man, last week was tough. Fuck, what a day. Oh my gosh, this fucking video. Wow, are we gonna talk about that? You know, this you can address certain things
Yeah.
and celebrate together. But honestly, it's just been seeing the growth, man, seeing
Yeah.
the different milestones we've reached over the past few years, and to the point now where it's almost like we don't even really think about it. We just kind of get to it. And once we agree on adjustments we make, when we revisit analytics and everything, it's just like kind of close our eyes and just keep going.
Yeah.
And I wish I could say like it was one video or this one moment, but no, it's been the overall growth of the brand and the team getting stronger in general. And by the way, one thing I really want to focus on as well too is how much time you actually have to strengthen your brand when you have assistance and have a team helping you out. And I think a lot of people don't really understand how important that is. When you first start out, you have this idea of this brand, but then you quickly realize that if you're going to spend time editing and just working continuously, you kind of lose sight of the brand.
Mm.
Cuz I had different stages. I had the car stage where I was recording in the car. It wasn't always the coffee pod. For
The
people who don't know, I
the
have the coffee pod now.
and the reactions from the music ones
Right,
and
right. I start off with reacting to music, and then I went to recording videos in my car and talking about stuff in there. And then from actually recording videos in my car, I then went to recording videos indoors. And I went from indoors to, I remember I had a setup at that point. It was like this whole peace, positivity, self-awareness setup. Then I
yep.
went from there and I had to figure out like what am I going to do? Because something's missing. I need something that hits people hard. I need a way to separate myself from the other people who were in my space and so that I could stand out. And then I came up with the coffee pod. And I sat down and I went and bought the sounds and the mixer. And it was this idea that I was going to leverage coffee. And ever since then, that's what it was. But I wouldn't have been able to think about that if I was too stressed trying to keep up with editing videos,
Mm.
is my main point.
Got it. Got it. Yeah, it makes sense, bro. Makes sense. Um, so would you say that like there's any downside or there were like any, I don't know, like what's the downside? You know what I mean? Like what's the downside of, not doing everything by yourself? Like what's the downside?
Zero.
Zero. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
zero downside.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally can't think of one.
Maybe the downside that exists is when you are still in a position where you can't afford help. Maybe that's the only situation where like you are making so much, like so little, to a point where you can't really, like, you know what I mean, like afford. No, but maybe in that situation it's like, okay, it doesn't make sense. But then after a little bit it's like, if you are in a situation where I would say that, yeah, maybe just there, maybe just there, like when you're really starting out and no money, no anything. Yeah, I mean, sure, you have to do things by yourself, but after that, yeah, bro, honestly, I just want to thank you, bro, for for all of this conversation, all this
My
podcast.
pleasure, man.
And it's been a real pleasure for me to work with you, bro, for this long. And I just wish that we work together for years to come, and that we grow the coffee pod, the
Yes,
Chisha
sir.
channel, for million plus.
Right.
Um, and I'm sure that's gonna happen. I'm sure that's gonna
Definitely.
happen. It's just a matter of time. and it is what it is. Like it's going to happen.
Inch by
And
inch.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, and that's the thing. It's like I'm so certain that that's gonna happen. It's like, and that's my feeling when you like got to the 100K, because that was the first mark, right? Like that, I think that's everybody first mark when they got like start to, like 1,000, maybe then 10,000, and they're like,
Right.
I want the 100,000. Yeah, right.
Right.
And when we got there, it was like, this is just a start. You know what I mean? Like, this is just the beginning. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
this is just you know. And so, yeah, bro, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be part of this journey,
Pleasure's
and
mine, my friend.
you know what I mean. And it's real pleasure, and also for to come here on the podcast and talk a little bit with me. So, thank you so much.
Definitely.
And so, yeah, for everybody that wanna maybe talk with me or whatever, all the information is gonna be down below. Shisha doesn't really need that. Shisha doesn't really need that. So,
For sure. For sure.
so
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it. I'm excited to see what else you do with future podcasts. And, I'm here anytime you need me, man.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try to do this a few podcasts with like different clients, and like people that want to come up to the podcast and share this on the channel, and just so people have, because you know what, bro, I think that's the main issue with that people feel, like the trust issue that we talked like in the beginning of the podcast.
Right.
And I think this builds like trust. You know what I mean? I think like people can watch this, like you watch this
Definitely.
interview, you know what I mean, and builds some trust, and you can see like maybe you feel like the way that you felt, you know what I mean, like when we started like going through that stuff. I think it's maybe important to some people. So yeah, thank you so much, bro. And yeah,
For
guys,
sure.
listen, until next time, thank you
All
so
right,
much. Bye
man.
bye.
Sounds
Bye
good anytime.
bye. Bye
All
bye.
right.